Why are you alive? Why even get out of bed in the morning? What's the point? Let's face it, the world is a fucking disaster. As soon as you look at your phone or turn on the television, there is nothing but news of some impending disaster, an imminent war, people losing rights, and hell, that's just due to America's inept president. We haven't even mentioned the mess the rest of the world is in. So what is the point of your life in all of this insanity? Have you ever thought about it? Why keep breathing? Most people never take a minute to consider it at all, but we're going to take a look at it right now. Many people simply get stuck in a daily cycle. They repeat the same pattern over and over again, like a hamster running in a wheel. The days come and go, the sun rises and falls. You're born, you grow, you get old, then you die. Society screams at you to go to school, get a job, buy a car, buy a house, have a family. Okay, then what? When a person finally gets to the point where they've ticked off all of the boxes that society has given to them, they realize that it's all been a facade. The sad fact is that most people will live out this mind-numbing pattern and waste away their lives, never having accomplished anything meaningful in their life. This is a sad excuse for living, and it's hardly living at all. If you don't have a purpose in your life, you will simply adopt the cookie-cutter pattern that society has laid out for you. It's an assembly line life. It's life stuck on the default factory setting, a pre-packaged life, a robotic life. It's the life of a clone or an NPC. Wake the fuck up. This is your life, so live it while you're still alive. To live a truly fulfilling and satisfying life, a person must have a purpose, a reason to live. When you have a life purpose, this lets you cut through all the bullshit of society and allows you to know what's really important. A purpose allows you to carve out your own path in life and make independent, autonomous choices. A purpose gives you a firm direction and a real reason to get up in the morning despite the insanity going on in the world. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." So what about you? Do you have a why to live? Most people don't and live out terribly unsatisfying lives. A person's happiness level rises when it's presented with positive new experiences. The same experience will get old after a while, so an unhappy person will try to switch things up in their life. Maybe a new boyfriend or girlfriend will make them happy, or maybe a vacation will do the trick. And this might actually work for a little while, but it's only temporary. Their happiness level will drop again, and they'll have to do something else to bring it back up. When you have a purpose, there is something that you're working towards. You have a goal, and as you grow and make progress towards your goal, your happiness and satisfaction level will rise. You aren't making random changes, but instead, you're making continuous upwards progress. You are investing in yourself and your life. You're no longer living out a life of randomness, but instead you're consciously creating a meaningful existence. The reason most people don't do this is that it takes a lot of hard work. And yeah, surprise, most people are lazy as hell. These people are doomed to live out an unfulfilling, mass-produced life, a mundane life ready-made for them by society. These people have no will, no autonomy, no self-direction. It's time you take your life into your own hands and create it into something wondrous, rather than letting yourself be controlled by cultural manufacturers. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." This means if you don't know where you're going, then it doesn't matter what direction you go in. You have to have a clear goal, a clear purpose, or else you're just wandering aimlessly. You have to know where the bullseye is before you can hit it. So some people might be wondering, well, how do you find your purpose? The truth is that no one can tell you what your purpose is. You have to find it for yourself by doing some deep introspection. You must put in the effort to look inside and explore your own mind. Some people might wonder, what if I don't have a purpose? Everyone has a purpose. The answer to what that purpose is lies deep within your unconscious. It's hidden by a society that's throwing out distraction after distraction. You have to take the time to think about it deeply. A helpful exercise is to think about what you enjoy in life, what inspires you, what gives you passion. Is there a certain musician you like? Maybe it's a book or an author, an athlete, an artist, a music style, a scientist, whatever. Think about all of the things that inspire you and consider why they inspire you. And this can be a great hint as to what areas you should explore to find your purpose. Nietzsche said, "Let the youthful soul look back on life with the question, what have you truly loved up to now? What has elevated your soul? What has mastered it and at the same time delighted it?" Another thing you can do is think about what you would like to see in the world. I've heard many people say, "Oh, I wish that this kind of music existed," or "How come there isn't more of this kind of art in the world?" Well, go fucking make it. That's the point. If you see that the world is missing something, if it's lacking something, then make it your mission to go out, create it, and put it into the world. When it comes down to it, get out there and explore, try things out, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. It very well may be that what ends up being your passion might take you by surprise and be something you never would have imagined. Just make sure you put in the hard work and effort to really try something out. You aren't going to be naturally great at something the first day or even the first few months. You have to stick with it and give it your all. Having passion and purpose is not for the lazy. It's not for the weak. If you want the easy way out, then go work a mundane job and drag out the rest of your life. But if you have the will, then put it towards your purpose and your life will become infinitely more exciting. So what about the awful state of the world? Here's the real secret. When everyone finds their true purpose, all the major conflicts in the world will be resolved. As Hyperions, our objective purpose is to transform the world, to make it a healthy world of freedom, expression, learning, and art, led by logic and reason. That is our collective, objective purpose. But each one of us fulfills that objective purpose by actualizing their own personal purpose. For one person, that may mean by being an artist. For another, a philosopher. For another, a musician or a scientist or a writer. Hyperions are those that utilize their true personal purpose to transform the world into a healthy system of growth, thus contributing to our objective collective purpose. We are all different and unique individuals, but we all live together as part of one system, and we should do our best to ensure that everyone has the ability to fulfill their purpose as well. This is the difference between having freedom from something and having freedom for something. When you have freedom from something, all outside interference is removed. But then what? You have freedom, but what are you going to do with it? When you have freedom for something, you live in a culture where you're given all the resources that you need in order to fulfill your own personal power and purpose. We must build a world in which people have the freedom not to sit on their ass and watch Facebook memes, but to create themselves into something powerful. We must create a world in which you don't have to slave away at a 9-to-5 job, and where you have free access to the education, resources, and time that you need to create yourself. The truth is that this reality is so much more than you've been told. This is why, in our other videos and our other material, we are attempting to show you the true nature of reality, because once you understand what existence is, everything else will fall into place. There are those of us that know what reality is, what the universe is, and what will happen when you die. Your existence is not random. You have a very real purpose, and you are an integral part of the universal whole. Look around at how boring everyone is. People are simply clones, copies of copies of copies. This is because hardly anyone works on themselves. They aren't bettering themselves. They're brain-dead sleepwalkers. They are like characters in a video game that never level up. Imagine how interesting and exciting this world would be if everyone was working passionately towards their purpose. The great wonders of our new world won't simply be buildings and monuments. The wonders of a Hyperion world will be its people. Ad Astra, to the stars. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and if you enjoy my videos, consider joining us on Patreon, and you'll get access to hidden videos.
To work on yourself. What you need to do is you need to make sure that you are a strong-willed, intelligent, and creative individual. So work on yourself. Take at least an hour every day to learn.
Your support is what lets me continue this work. We have many plans for the future, and we want to actualize them now. We want to bring this into the real world and unite free-thinking individuals across the globe. For those of you with me on Patreon, thank you for your support, my friends.